Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Chargers. So with that, let's get you out to Southern California as standing by at StubHub Stadium. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the StubHub Center, 20 miles south of downtown L.A. I'll tell you, you wouldn't think 30,000 people could make this noise. That's half the size of a normal NFL stadium, but this is no normal crowd. They are ready to go as their Chargers get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
After the career that he's had in the NFL thus far, you get the sense that he was underrated coming out of college. Not just great intangibles, but the ability to make plays come alive, whether he's exiting the pocket or throwing from within the confines of it.
They go play action here on first down. And his first look is incomplete. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable third down receiver.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Cousins now. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State. It's Phillip Rivers.
One way you become the all-time leading passer for your team is pure talent, and Phillip Rivers has plenty of that. But there's also dedication to your craft and the willingness to get better all the time. Phillip Rivers has a van set up with a driver so that when he goes to and from practice, he's able to watch tape and find ways to improve his mechanics each and every day.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
Keenan Allen checks every box for me as a receiver. Size, speed, strength, intelligence in what he's doing. But I love his competitiveness. When that ball's in the air, he goes after it and usually comes down with it. And last but not least, we can lay to bed the myth that he can't run fast. Keenan Allen can get up and go.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. On 1st and 10, Rivers. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll lose yardage, brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. Oh, twisting away. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And able to find Green. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Trey Wayne's the Michigan State man right there in coverage. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Gordon. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how you guys are going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really anticipatory. And when you're really locked in together, you know what he's going to do before he actually does it. On this play, that didn't happen at all, and that turned into a big loss.
And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
The Vikings now heading onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Play action now. Cousins. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Give him 30 yards there.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. We'll come back to Southern California after this. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. A give. This is Cook. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Handoff comes to Cook. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On second down, Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a third down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on third down. Cousins on 3rd and 2. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on 3rd down after having such a long drive going.
Now, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
And Forbath will put this one through, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. Here's Desmond King on the return. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Chargers getting set to go and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 24. A first down throw here for Rivers. And this is going to be incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rivers. Man open left side. It's Williams. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here's Drew Kaiser now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Vikings Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
Well, you got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Here's Cousins. Some strong running at the 20. Got a man, it's right. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. To go here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
First down, here's Cousins. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him. Even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll throw again. Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Third and short yardage, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Rivers on first down. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. First down, Rivers. And Green with a catch left side. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, Rivers. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
The Chargers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Again, it's Rivers. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Desmond King making the tackle. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half. And as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. To return it now, here's King. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Gordon. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He's got a man. It's Williams. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Rivers now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On play action, Rivers. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Mike Williams that time. And it's 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On third down, Rivers. Open man, it's Allen. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. On the counter, here's Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Rivers. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. Sturgis for the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. Here comes Sherrills. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Again, it's Cook. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Final minute now of the third quarter. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I feel for some of these guys nowadays because it is so tough to be able to run with these tight ends. Their speed, their elusiveness, especially when they run across the field, because you're not just running with him, you're trying to run through some traffic as well.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the carry, it's Cook. Still touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 38 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Kai Forbath on for the extra point. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Forbath out to kick this one away. To return it now, here's King. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Second down, Rivers. He's got his tight end complete. It's Green. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Operating from the gun, Rivers. Gets it to Gordon. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger 1st down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Allen's got it over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, Rivers. Green with a catch left side. And he'll go down at the 28. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. A 1st down throw here for Rivers. Wide open receiver complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another 1st.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Finally, a 1st red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a first down in field goal range already.
Let's go.
On first down, Rivers. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Back to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down. That's not exactly what you want there, especially given the time on the clock. But now, you've got to kick the field goal, right?
You do, and actually, you show a little faith in your defense when you do that, because you kick the field goal here, you're telling them, we believe you'll get the ball back for us for one more shot.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And we are all tied here in the final stages. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Cousins to throw. Throw left side on target to Thielen. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. First down now, but that clock rolling. Here's Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Cousins now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. They run, Cook, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them
Still
to hear the
second down.
snap count.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Cousins. The left side caught by Diggs. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. The Vikings on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Got a quick flash about being in their huddle. Whatever the play call was, it was tagged with these words: make sure you stay in the middle of the field. That's where we want to be.
And he did just that. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So now it all rests on the foot of Kai Forbath. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So now it all rests on the foot of Kai Forbath. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. To return it now, here's King. Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Southern California, so long, everybody.